Hello? Are we good? Yeah, we good. Let's go.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, you fellow featherless bipeds, and welcome to This Works For Now, a podcast for you to share your writing, your music, and your art. But mostly, your writing. Here's how it works. I'll read a short story submitted by you lovely listeners, and occasionally one of my own. And then I'll have a little musical guest at the end. That's fun, yeah? If you are interested in having your story read here on the podcast, stick around till the end, and I'll let you know how it works. It's pretty easy. And if you're not big into writing, you should still stick around to the end, because one, if you don't, you're a certified big ol' rude meanie pants, and you won't get any pudding because you haven't eaten your meat. And two, I'll have some other interesting opportunities as well. So, without further hullabaloo, let's hear our first entry. So this one comes to us from Terry B. up in Wasilla, Alaska, and it is called The Bog. As the sun sets and the ravens fly, a cool blue mist sets upon the marsh. Bygone spirits take to the blackened soil, consciously searching for something that doesn't remain, their knowledge forever lost in the muck and the mire. Deathly smells are all that linger from the memories of the past. Every color has faded to hues of gray and brown. Further north than the winds dare to blow, the air becomes stale and stagnant. Great battles were waged on grounds now lost to time and weather. Relics of a time before are now sunken beneath layers of mud and clay. Hellish screams still echo through the shrieking silence. Indigo skies are ignited by a bright white moon revealed by the sunken sun. Just as it seems this land has been completely lost to death and destruction, a single flower has blossomed near the protective roots of a birch tree. Kings and peasants alike were equalized on this ground now. New life will make this land its own. Leaves have long been absent from the trees. Many young trees and plants will have their lives cut short, like all the lives that have occupied this land before. Now the winter will blanket the bog in a chilling coat of ice and snow. Old air becomes stagnant as it freezes. Previous winters have never been so cold. The blossoming flowers and greening trees have lost all hope of returning. Quadrated days pass by with nothing altered for miles. Rough conditions have made this place a wasteland. Soon the swamps will melt and the air will churn. Gases released from the ground fill the air. The bog is unfriendly to any and all. Ubiquitous stories will be told about the swamp that is hidden beneath the fog. Violent and blood-soaked memories of brother fighting brother and son fighting son. Wondrous concepts of good and evil produce many questions of morality. Yearning for the true answer, all of Earth's kings will send their inquisition to the swamp to search for answers, only to find the same bog that all before have found. Expendable men are sent to fight for the exemplary cowards resting upon their thrones. Zealously, the bog delivers its sentencing with no prejudice. So that was The Bog, again by Terry B., a good friend of mine. Very poetic, it really makes you ponder, the apathy that the earth has for our existence, Just like the bog, the earth doesn't care if we live or we die or if we succeed or fail. The earth does not care if you step on a Lego or you drop your ice cream. It doesn't give a shit about you at all. And that's beautiful. The earth, it's going to continue long after you and me or anybody we know, but, it's still going to carry the stories and the scars that we have done upon it. Speaking of stories, if you're interested in me reading your story on the podcast, all you have to do is send a message and your story of choice to thisworksfornowpodcast @gmail.com. or DM me on Instagram at thisworksfornowpodcast. Any genre works, just, write whatever you feel produces your best work. If you have something already written, you're just dying to share, send it over, Same goes if you're trying to be a musical guest or if you want to send me some visual art. I'll put the visual art on the Instagram or maybe put it behind the stories or behind the music at the end. And I'll link to your SoundCloud, your Instagram, if you're sending me art or music. I just want to give you all some free publicity, you know what I mean? I want this podcast to give people an opportunity to be creative and to have their work heard by others. So, while there's no guarantee that your story or your music or your art's going to appear on the podcast, chances are, especially being as I just started and haven't had many submissions, that your chances are pretty good. Also, if graphic design is your passion, I'm taking submissions for the logo of the podcast. Any and all submissions I receive will be posted on the Instagram page, and the winner will have their logo be the cover art for the YouTube channel, the Instagram, and anywhere else the podcast will be presented. It will also be the face of the Patreon, because yes, I have a Patreon already. I'm just that desperate for the hard-earned cash that you managed to rip from the quaking jaws of this crumbling late-stage capitalist society. You can find it at patreon.com/thisworksfornow. As far as whose logo wins, I'll probably hold like an Instagram vote or something. Once there's enough submissions, it'll be epic, don't worry about it. And yeah, as far as the musical guests go, just do whatever, man. You want to show yourself playing your instrument, singing, bumping your beats and or bars. It's all good. And again, it's the same submission process. Just DM me over the Instagram or send a clip of you introducing yourself and doing your music to the email. Again, it's thisworksfornowpodcast@gmail.com. Probably want to double check your spelling on that because it's kind of a long email. Hit me up on the Instagram, especially if you live in the Austin, Texas area, because that's where I'm based. I just moved here and I'm always looking for cool and creative people to collaborate with. So, with all that being said, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks for listening, and here is Jay Tizzle with the Shiznizzle on 69.9 TWFN The Fudge.
Hi, I'm JT, here to do my fliggle giggle diddly doo. Here we go.
Can I hear myself now? Yes. Very good.